What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Once again today I'll be day trading futures, NASDAQ, NQ, and today is September 10th 2025. It is Wednesday and we had PPI data released this morning at 7:30. It came in lower than expected, so that's good. Market's pumped right here, as you can see, right as that was released. So I'm going to just have to wait and see if this move continues throughout the day. Maybe we have a nice little trend day. We also have CPI data tomorrow and consumer sentiment and inflation expectations Friday. So maybe we can see markets trend up the rest of the week, but there could be volatility in both directions. We don't know. Just have to wait and see what the market gives us. But I'm going to be looking for my flag patterns, my reversal patterns, and my momentum continuation trades. So stay tuned and let's see what kind of setups I get.
Not in flitting about because some fool says take profits or the news is bad. The market will tell you when to buy and it will tell you when to sell if you have the patience to watch. Alright,
so I just hopped into that long. And I'm seeing huge wicks on the 15 and the 5, and we just held above VWAP very strongly, so I'm trying to catch 10 points back up to fill some of this gap right here in this first opening candle.
It makes you feel important. It makes you feel as though you're in on something others don't know. But the noise always comes after the fact. By the time the paper prints the reason for the move has already.
We might come down and retrace some of this wick on this 5, so gotta be careful right here. We could retrace a little bit, but let's see. We're pushing up right now, so let's see what we do.
Or the price action on the tape, and yet men chase the reason, always the reason.
Maybe I can grab these 10 points before we do drop back down a little bit. If we do, we could just go straight up from here. Lots of buyers stepping in there. Seeing a lot of aggressive buying over here in the tape.
If it falls, the opposite. It does not matter why. The why is irrelevant. That's what so few men will accept. They want to argue with the fact.
Okay, there we go. First trade of the day. 10-point winner. Okay, so I saw this strong bounce. We had this 10 EMA and the 20 SMA right here on the 15. We're getting a strong bounce off of that. 20 SMA, or actually, that may be the 50 SMA there.
I tell you something else. The big money is never made in the short swings. It is made by following the long trend.
I'm not sure, but whatever this indicator I have here, I need to look and see what that is. That could be the 20 SMA.
But who can sit and ride the bull market for months?
So I'm wondering what these are. These may both be EMAs, and this may be the 20 SMA. But I need to check that out because I didn't realize I had 3 on there. But anyway, we got a strong bounce off of that, and so I was expecting to push back up here into this SMA, if that's what that is. Let's see.
Do you remember how it felt to watch the stock climb higher after you left?
That is the 50 SMA. Okay. So these are
at least might follow the obvious movement. But a man full of noise,
20,
full of tips and gossip.
20 SMA, 10 EMA. Okay.
Because some loudmouth tells him it's sure.
So 50
And he
SMA.
sells because another loudmouth says it's over.
Okay. So we were bouncing off that 50 SMA. So I was trying to play that move back up into.
Would you sell your ship by listening to the chatter of
So we bounced off VWAP down here, and I was trying to play that up into that 50 SMA there, the bounce off the 50 SMA there, and off of this 50 and 20 on the 15. And like I said, I figured we could retrace part of that wick, so that's what we're doing right now. So now we just got to see if we hold this area. And if we do hold this area, then I might take another long because the 4-hour chart's looking extremely good. I don't really expect us to break below 20 23,903 is where that 4-hour candle opened. We could pull back a little bit. We could drop a little bit down, like below the wick of that previous candle, or tap this purple line again or something. But we'll see. I mean, markets reacted pretty good to that data this morning, so we could have just been retracing that initial push from pre-market, and now we might be heading to the upside there. So I'm waiting to see what this 5 minutes looking like here from this level, and I may take another long. And if so, I may just hang on to it in case we get a big push to the upside.
Patience is the soul of successful speculation. Losses when you no longer know whether to buy or sell. That is the psychological punishment of defying the market. Contrast this with the man who obeys. He may take losses, yes, but they are controlled, for he cuts them when the trend proves him wrong. When the trend favors him, he holds and he reaps. His confidence.
All right, I'm taking this long,
but from the knowledge that he is working with,
and I think we'll make new highs on the day. So I'm going to just set this profit target up here at the current day's high.
and both enrich him in different ways. He becomes steadier.
See if we can work our way back up there.
Do you see how obedience
We still got 3 minutes left on this 5-minute candle, so I'm thinking
you also learn the power of patience.
we start pushing up soon, but
Great waves, and those waves take time.
we'll see.
Who obeys knows that his job is not. They are the natural consequence of attitude.
All right, let's see if we can get this push up now.
Nor is it generous.
I probably should have waited till this candle that we're currently on the 5-minute chart closed.
Those who flow with it and crushes those
That was the one I should have waited
It's the
for.
same with the rewards discipline. That is a truth carved out of years spent before the ticker. Hours watching the endless.
Okay, that 5-minute candle that we just closed looks pretty good. So let's see if we can continue back up to the upside.
In Chattoker's offices, exchanging rumors, dissecting news, building arguments. They convince one another that a stock must behave in a certain way, and then the tape moves in the opposite direction, calmly, relentlessly, ignoring all the noise. Those men argue harder, insisting the market is wrong. But the market is never wrong. The market is always right. It is the individual who is wrong, the opinion that is mistaken, the argument that is irrelevant. The price is the truth. Why do so few accept it? Because they would rather defend their ego than admit they are wrong. A man who recognizes the trend accepts truth, no matter how unwelcome it may be. If he owns a stock and the trend turns against him, he sells, even if it means admitting a loss. If he sees a market climbing, he buys even if it feels late. He does not argue, he does not debate, he obeys. And that obedience enriches him. The man who clings to opinion refuses to sell when he should, refuses to buy when he should, because his pride is at stake. He confuses his vanity with truth, and the market punishes him for it. Have you ever held a losing position simply because you could not bear to admit your mistake? That was your opinion battling the market's truth, and which of the two won? The beauty of the trend is its simplicity. I have spent a lifetime watching markets, watching men, and watching myself. What I tell you today isn't theory pulled from books and everything else. Rumors, opinions, newspaper clippings, expert chatter. These are but noise, a distraction designed to take your money if you let them.
Alright, let's see what it does here.
Tell me, can you order the sea to retreat when it rushes in? Can you see the move has already taken place? Haven't you noticed? They'll tell you a stock went down because of bad earnings, but the stock was falling days before the news was out. They'll say the market rallied because of some speech in Washington, but the advance was already underway. Which mattered more, the printed reason or the price action on the tape? And yet men chase the reason, always the reason, as if knowing it will fill their pockets. Do you want reasons or do you want profits? The tape tells its own story. Every price, every tick is a vote.
Alright, I locked that in.
But the market
I was up
does.
almost 30
If the price
points.
rises, it means more want to buy than to sell. If it falls, the opposite. It does not matter why.
Because I think we are going to retrace a little bit
Few men will accept.
and then continue up, if we do continue up. So
To overlay their
if we get a good
fears,
little pullback here
but the tape
and then another setup to go long again right there, that's what I'll
does not
do.
owe you. tried to sell short against a powerful bull movement. I had been enriched before when I obeyed, but when I argued...
Alright, quick little long here, see if we can pop up for 10 points. Thinking we can get to that fair value gap maybe.
It does not reward cleverness.
See if we can get that push.
It does not enrich the man who can build the finest arguments. It enriches the man who can silence the noise in his head and obey the obvious movement. Can you silence that noise, or will you let it dictate your trades? Many traders lose money not because they lack intelligence, but because they refuse obedience. They believe obedience makes them lesser, as though following the trend was some kind of weakness. They want to conquer the market, to dominate it, to prove themselves superior. But the market cannot be conquered. It is larger than all of us. It is not an opponent to be defeated. It is a force to be harnessed. The man who harnesses it is enriched, and the man who fights it is ruined. Think of a river. The obedient man builds
Okay, we are at this
and lets it turn his wheel.
50
Stands in the water,
or 20 SMA, what is that?
hands. Which man gains from the river? And
We are at that the 50 SMA resistance on the 2, so I'm hoping we can bust through that.
worse than the financial loss.
20
Loss of confidence, the slow erosion of
SMA on the 5. Maybe we can push right through those,
the trend and is beaten.
tap this fair value gap, or bust right through it,
Soon he is trading
and lock in my 10 points maybe.
chasing every tip, grasping at every rumor, unable to trust even the evidence before his eyes. His capital is gone, and his nerve is gone, and all because he would not bow to the authority of the tape. Have you ever felt that gnawing doubt after a string of losses, when you no longer know whether to buy or sell?
Alright, it's not looking the greatest here on the 2 minute, and the 5 minutes getting a lot of wicks to the upside.
The man who obeys, he
Not
may
looking
take
the
losses,
greatest.
but they are controlled, for he cuts them when the trend proves him wrong. When the trend favors him, he holds and he reaps.
We need a strong push here to the upside.
That he is working with the current, not against it. Every profit reinforces his discipline. Every loss teaches him humility, and both enrich him in different ways.
Stopped out.
He becomes steadier, calmer, less susceptible to noise.
Alright, there went half of my profits for the day.
The trader
Okay, so I've got 3 trades on the day, 2 winners, 1 loser. I have $330 in profits. I was up to 700, and then I had that loser, so that knocked me back down to 330. But as you can see on this 15-minute chart, this 5-minute chart, and this 2-minute chart, we're stuck in a range. We've been stuck in this range since about an hour ago. So with PPI coming out, we had that push up today, and now we're in the range of that push. Tomorrow we have CPI data. Friday we have consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So I'm not expecting a whole lot more out of today. I was hoping we'd continue pushing up before hitting the range like this, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I'm going to take my profits and just be done for the day. So far this Apex account is up to 51,730. So maybe just a few more days of trading. This one will be in the funded phase, and then a few more days after that, I plan on getting some payouts. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can see the rest of the progress on this Apex account. And maybe tomorrow I'll catch a couple of good trades, and maybe Friday we'll catch a couple more. But I think this data coming out is going to be bullish for the overall market, and I think it's going to push us up higher for one last run on the stock market and the crypto market before we start flattening out and start setting up for a huge correction, maybe even a bear market starting sometime mid next year. So, or the mid next year or the end of next year. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But as far as day trading, there's not much to happen right here. There's not much to do right here. There's not much happening. Stuck in a range. You know, like I said in some of my last videos, this yellow box, when we get in a range like that, that's my no trade zone. It's basically just gambling if you're trying to trade in there. So I'll make another video tomorrow, see if I can catch a few more trades. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. It'll help my channel out. Comment below. Let me know what you think. If there's anything else you want me to talk about in the videos, just let me know in the comments. And until next time, peace out.